Hey, hi everyone, and welcome to a new video. In today's video, we're gonna go and showcase more of my Forsaken animations and process of what I've been doing and all that good stuff. This is part 2 of like a very short series where I do a full showcase of the Forsaken Realistic series I did. This is a direct follow-up, so if you want to see the entire thing, I'm sorry, but you do have to go back and watch part 1. Besides that, let's jump right into the video. I think we were about to just talk about Slasher. Okay, Slasher's animation, okay? This one was the last one I did where I really put my heart and soul out to like just making an animation and stuff. But I remember that this was a lot of, it was very hard on my computer for some reason. I'm pretty sure this is pretty laggy. It might not be so laggy because I've been upgrading it for a while. But here's the preview right here where he's being thrown, and you can kind of see that Slasher kind of floats up and then he just starts walking forward. I mean, it's alright. It's not the best. As you can see here, there's a couple of tricks happening, like the pitchfork already being inside of him. That just is because there's a pitchfork that's already inside of him, and then there's a pitchfork that Slasher's holding. Once Slasher attacks, that pitchfork gets pretty much swapped with the pitchfork already inside of him. That's just the way I do it. I don't know if that's the best way, but there's some weird errors that it causes. Do that. Besides this, I'm pretty sure I didn't really love making Slasher, and I didn't like him very much. And then the animation, I mean, it's alright. It creates what it needs to, but the walking is so, like, there's some cool parts to this that are completely missed out by the camera just moving away and looking at different things. I think it's cool to see that Slasher, you know, how weighty of a sword this is. So like he like pulls it back and moves with it. Like that looks pretty darn cool, but the camera doesn't see it. So I feel like you kind of miss out a good amount. And there's a lot of stuff in the background here that I just added. I don't even know why I added, to be honest. You don't see it. You don't see any of this. Sometimes I put too much detail in my work and there doesn't need to be that much. I don't know. I think I was starting to be ambitious and then I just kind of gave up halfway through, sadly. But besides that, the model's pretty cool. I think it's pretty like accurate to the original. So it stays very, very much true. And I really just wanted him to be shown and cool and all the good stuff. I know that the chains here were a little bit of a pain too, because adding multiple objects on your avatar like this, it freaks out the system, so it's hard to do it. But not too many camera tricks here, just simple stuff. Again, quick animation, so I mean, it's like all right. It's not the best. So with that being said, I think the effects are really cool. The lighting's really, really cool. So I think it's above 1x, 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 but below Cool Kit. Okay, that's what I would say. Now on to Guess 666. This is where I really enjoyed making the model, the process. I feel I even made a lot of renders with it. Like I'll show you some here, but I made a lot of stuff because I was really proud of this model. I felt like it was really, really cool, and I was honestly excited to see if you guys still wanted me to make the animation and seeing like the people, see if I wanted to continue this. But this video, of course, I know, you know, you're not supposed to be focused on the views, but it does show me your guys' interest in a series. So I saw pretty darn low views here, and I was sadly upset, and I didn't want to, like, my god, you can this is not the animation. There wasn't any animation here, but this is just showing off the model. But yeah, I saw low interest, and it really, at the time, it pretty upset me, because I was like, Guess 666 just came out, here's a realistic version, this is super cool. It was like the realistic series all of a sudden started to die. I was like, what happened? You guys like loved it, you know, not too long ago. it was weird, but I you know, it helps me see like what you guys actually want to watch. And this stuff, like with some guest losing her eyes, that literally, that's just me moving the eyes down for different thumbnails. This is for different effects and different thumbnails that I wanted to use. Very, very eerie. I felt like the guest without eyes, like, this created such a creepy and eerie effect. I love it. Yeah, look at that, man. That looks so freaking creepy and weird. I feel like this is definitely one of my creepiest realistic designs. I did a really good job. I should probably show the render here and how like creepy that is. But yeah, no, I definitely had a lot of fun making this. And I felt like I was really going to like kind of revive the realistic series, but I didn't. So it happens, man. But besides that, I really do think that this is probably an A, just because like the renders are amazing. I think this is one of my better renders, and the hair simulations, the whole vibe of it is very accurate to the original model and stuff. Like, it is very, very cool. I like this model a lot. So I feel like it's at least an A tier. I know it's not an animation. I feel like the animation would make it a lot better, but definitely an A tier, just for the model. Just for the model, dude. Cool Kid Milestone 4. Wow, this guy was like, I wanted to expand the series into Milestone skins and stuff like that. And this was like kind of like a test to see if you guys wanted to see that. But I really liked making this one. I remember the effects was so much, and the render was like really fun. The model is super detailed. I had a bunch of ideas to do. He's definitely very odd looking, like he's much bigger, because I remember in the original video, you guys mentioned how you kind of felt like it's weird having him to be skinny and muscular. So I just made him fat and muscular. So I just a weird thing. And I made all of his proportions very like if he was a weird, creepy baby thing. It was very fun making this crazy, weird creation. Probably one of my weirdest things and models I've created. Photoshopping and modeling, I don't even know if I showed that, but that was so fun. And I wonder if you can see some of the effects here. Yep, some of the like shoulder effects are so detailed here. I really tried to make sure to capture everything in the character as I could. Yeah, it was a lot. The one thing I do remember regretting is the making this into a scythe. I forgot about that. I wanted it, it's a long sword, but I wanted it to be a scythe. That's one of the parts I remember being like, oh, I needed to change that, but it was already too late. Also, I forgot about the tail. It like animated at all. It's just not even showing, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, what would I put it in the tier list? Well, just looking at the render and looking at the animation and stuff, I would say it is probably, I would say it's higher than Guess 666 in the A tier. I wish I did an animation, but I knew that there was a lot of interest inside of it, and I was really hoping that this video would pick up. I don't think it did, but you know, I loved making it, so now on to Azer. This one I did a very different approach because I knew the series was dying. I didn't really put super amount of effort into this. I used a lot of accessories that I already pre-made, and then some of them I found online, and I even used a new system where I can actually make the character into, like, edit the character using this like crazy plugin. It was fun making this character, but I definitely didn't put that much effort into it because I felt like it wasn't going to get, you know, nearly enough interest into the episode, and it didn't. And it was very true. It didn't. I was saddened by this, but it's kind of the reality of where, you know, you're a YouTuber and you got to realize when a series is kind of dying. One of my favorite things that I made in this render is this right here. This crazy VFX. Look at that. Look how cool that looks. I use a VFX pack that was just a bunch of images. Like this is just a bunch of flat images that I put together to create this really cool, like spiraling, void, crazy effect. And I loved it. This was probably one of my best effects, VFX that I've created. Just, I love the game, man. I love the game. Besides that, I know that I did some decent texturing on him, try to get him into a looking good. I felt like I did a pretty good job, especially with like, you know, him being like zipped up. I actually added zippers this time, you know, not just made it like into 1x where he's a skeleton or something, you know. He also doesn't have a nose, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I did a lot of realistic stuff to this character. And this was a pretty easy but fun character to make. I sadly just didn't put a lot of effort into him because I knew that you guys didn't really have that much interest in realistic series anymore. Besides that, I think this character is like okay all around. I think the VFX is really just kind of what pushes it, but besides that, it doesn't do anything special. It doesn't make anything unique compared to the other characters and stuff. It doesn't bring anything unique to the table. So I'm just gonna say I think
emotional damage.
Just an okay. Like it's not really that great, but it's a fine render. If you know you wanted a render of realistic Azer, I made it. Okay, so this is the end of the video. This video was not very long, just because I had to split it up in 2 parts, mainly because at first I had like 30 minutes of footage from like both parts 1 and 2, and it was really stressful to edit both of them in like a couple days because I'm going on a vacation like tomorrow recording this. So I just split it up in 2 parts, but if you've made it and you've watched both parts, I really appreciate it. You guys are the true fans. Sadly, just looking at what the video and how it's doing right now, the part 1, it's performing pretty badly. You want it to be at least like 5 out of 10 or 4 out of 10. Right now, it is 9 out of 10. Wonderful. That's okay. The fact that you are watching it right now shows that you care just, you know, to enjoy the content, and I appreciate it. So thank you so much for watching this. Tell me down in the comments which was your favorite character in this video shown, and I guess I will see you guys later. You guys all have a wonderful morning, night, or afternoon. Peace.